Hi folks, you've just gone ahead and had this flash of an idea, a brilliant idea to start a brand new company. And you've done some research, there's a market out there, you know exactly what you want to do. All you have to do now is come up with a company name. Wow, that's easy, isn't it? In this session, we're going to talk about how to determine whether your company name is a good name and whether it works. The first thing that you want to do is you want to realize that there's a lot of ideas out there. And so what I would suggest is don't rush into this. What I've done in the past is I've rushed into getting a company name, I've gotten a website, and then I said, nope, that doesn't work. Before you spend money for a website domain name, before you go ahead and print out cards, before you go ahead and print out business name, make sure that you've done your research. Don't rush into this. The company name is something you should take some time to go ahead and come up with. And what I would suggest is look at a lot of different sources. And you might go to www.stumbleupon.com, go to google.com, go to some of the competitors that you have out there and see what their ideas are. Not that you're going to steal them, but you know what not to do. And you know what areas to get into so that you can go ahead and show the unique marketing advantage. Number two, what you don't want to do is put your name in the title. Now your company name should typically be no more than 3 or 4 words. 4 is stretching it. 3 is better. 2 is even better. 1 is ideal. If you have your company name including part of your personal name, your last name, is that going to draw anybody in? If it's not, get rid of it. Delete that and come up with a different name. Now why do I say that? Because your company name, you have a limited amount of time to capture people's attention. So if your company name doesn't immediately tell them what you do and how you benefit them, they're going to go ahead and go on by. Let's go ahead and tie in your company name with your tagline. Your company name should tell people sort of what you do. Your tagline should identify it even further. Now your tagline should relate so closely to your company name that when people see the one, they immediately think of the other. Have a Coke and a smile. When people see that Coca-Cola brand name, that have a Coke and a smile rings in the back of their head, they think of a pleasant memory. They think about having ice cold Coca-Cola. Hertz, we try harder. What they do is they have a company name. In that case, Hertz really didn't do anything for them, and then they had to have the tagline that explained how it benefited them. And so if you're going to be using an unusual name, what you want to do is you want to have a tagline that identifies this and gets it down even further. Number 3, once you've picked a name, don't come up with just one. Come up with 5, 10, 15, 20. Put them on 3x5 index cards and have the name of the company and then have the tagline underneath telling exactly what your company does, and then hand these out to friends and family. Have them go through this and say, what does this company do? If they can't tell you what the company does by looking at the name of the company and the tagline, you haven't done something right. Don't have just one person look at this. Have 3, 4, 5, 10 people look at this, but keep track of this. And don't hand them to them and say, tell me what you think about this and get back to me. Instead, say, do you have just about 30 seconds? Boom, 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 boom. What do you think of this? 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 Have them tell you immediately. Because most people are lazy. If you hand them a stack of cards and say, get back to me, number 1, they're not going to do it. Number 2, you want to get their right off the cuff, immediate impressions. If they can tell you right off the cuff immediately what it says to them, much better. You're going to have a much better result than if you just say, go out there, research this, and get back to me. People won't do it. If you ask them, keep it short, keep it sweet. What does it say? What does it say? What does it say? What does it say? Okay, we're done. Move on. Finally, what you want to do is once you have gotten your name, once you've gotten your tagline, you want to do a check to make sure that you don't have a web domain name that is in competition with that, and that your company name is going to look good on a web domain, so that you doesn't spell out something that, because it doesn't have any spaces in it, is a bad word or it means something different. So what you always want to do is you want to double check, triple check, and you can change it here before you spend any money a lot better than after you've gone ahead and spent money for graphic art, for the logo, for the sign, for the business cards, for a domain name. Go ahead and make sure before you whip out your card and pay for anything, make sure that you have this exactly the way you want it. And finally, what you want to do is you want to test this and test it small. Once you have sort of an idea of what your name is, you've eliminated a lot of the bad ones, you've come up with 3 or 4 good ones. Test this by going to the same people or maybe different people and saying, would you buy a product from this company? Have them take a look at this. What does this say to you? What does this mean? What does this company do? And you want them to very quickly give you their brief impression. They don't have to think about it for 30 seconds. You should go ahead and show them these index cards. Tell me what this means. Get an immediate response. If it doesn't impress them, you don't have the right thing. Same thing with your logo. You want to go ahead and use several different design logos to come up with one that really articulates what you do and what benefits you bring to people. When you do this, you're going to have much better results because the name is everything. Your name will go ahead and either make you or break you. If you have a really bad name, it's going to be hard to overcome.